Chaco, don't pretend you're hunting birds. I know you can't catch birds. Hey guys, it's Rachel here. Let's talk about coronavirus. Now I know everybody and their brother is talking about this right now, so I'll try and keep this short. Coronavirus is affecting my life a little bit, but not as much as I thought it would. Being in upstate South Carolina, it hasn't really gotten bad here, I guess, yet, depending on how you look at it. What is today? Today is the 29th of March. And so far, I just feel like my life hasn't changed that much. The biggest thing that's changed for me is my work at Starbucks. A few of you know I'm a Starbucks barista. That's how I deal with my health insurance, because most of my other work is online freelance type stuff. And Starbucks offered 30 days paid sick leave to all of its workers, and I'm taking it. I'm not sick. I don't know anybody who's been sick, but people were coming through the drive-thru coughing, and I didn't want to put the people I come in contact with here at risk. I thought it was very unnecessary, to be honest. So I'm taking the days, and so far they're expecting me back at work on, what is it, April 19th, 20th, something like that. Of course, that's all subject to change depending on how things play out. I guess it really hasn't hit me yet how big of a deal this is, because my daily life hasn't been affected that much. Of course, I go to the grocery store like everybody else, and I see that the meat is gone, the bread is gone. There was one day last week where all of the potatoes are gone. Those have been restocked, and the produce is looking fine. I guess rice and dry beans are gone a lot of the time. And my mom actually works at a grocery store about an hour away from here. And, she was telling me that things were crazy last week, but this week they've kind of calmed down. And she thinks it might be because people know that they're out of stuff, and so they just don't bother showing up. I guess we'll see how things go as things continue to get worse, which everybody says they will get worse before they get better. I guess maybe I'm in shock from all of it. Like, maybe it's not quite setting in properly what's happening in this country. Like, maybe I keep thinking about, like, if this was a tornado, you would be able to look around and see the destruction, and it would feel like everything changed immediately. But this is kind of invisible right now, at least to me here in my apartment in South Carolina. I don't see sick people. I don't personally know anybody who's been officially diagnosed. I know a few people who are losing their jobs in the restaurant industry, and they're having to resort to some pretty crazy things to continue to make money to eat and pay rent. But for the most part, it just feels like it's invisible. It just feels like it's not happening. It's not real. And I know it is. It hasn't hit me yet, what's going on in the world. So in terms of how I'm feeling about my own food security, in terms of the garden, I feel pretty good about it. I have a lot of food planned for the year. Some people have told me that I got lucky that I prepared for the apocalypse early. It's just, I'm not changing what I'm doing with my garden at all. I had planned to grow as much food as possible, I had planned to grow as much of the food that I wanted to eat as possible. I could add some more. I have some unclaimed containers as of right now, things that don't have plants' names on them yet, and maybe I'll plant some more. I will have some extra seedlings, and those will go either in some of those extra pots, or I'll be giving them away to my friends who have gardens. I know a couple of them have my mom's name on them already. So let's take a quick second to talk about what food I actually do expect to get from my garden, because I'll probably do like a more in-depth video on this for people who want to know what they can grow in this space. So I'm growing a 4x4 section of carrots, and right in that section of carrots I have a row of peas on either side. And in the bed next to that, so there's the 4x4 section off of the big bed, and the rest of that bed right now is onions, radishes, turnips, more carrots, and kale. And all of those are going to come up soon, and I'm going to be putting in the summer garden, which is peppers and tomatoes. And I'm planning on having something like 18 plants in that space, spread out between peppers and tomatoes. And those are just going to be the sweet peppers in that area. So I'm splitting it half and half. I'll probably have 9 tomato plants and 9 sweet pepper plants. So in the smaller bed, it's basically all garlic except for a few onions that I moved over from the big bed to make some room. And in my backyard, I have 5 bags with potatoes growing in them. Some of those bags have more than one potato plant in them. So theoretically, I should get a few pounds of potatoes. I don't actually know how much to expect in terms of pounds, but it seems like it would be like at least as much as you would buy in a bag at the grocery store. And I'm also going to have in my backyard in containers all of my spicy peppers, and those aren't necessarily going to be great for food security, but they make me happy, and they add spice and flavor to the food that I'm eating that'll make it easier to eat. They'll be part of salsas and guacamoles, and I'm going to be making tomato sauce, and it's going to be great. And then also in the backyard, I have a pumpkin plant. It's really little right now, and if you've seen my previous videos, you know that this pumpkin is very special to me because last year a pumpkin just randomly started growing out of my compost pile, and it made this beautifully orange, not quite pumpkin looking squash. I mean, it looked like it was a type of pumpkin. It was orange, but it was a little flatter than a pumpkin. And it didn't look like anything that you would buy from the store, which is what I would assume it would look like, seeing as it grew out of my compost pile and I bought pumpkins from the store. But it probably got crossed with something back when it was growing in the fields before it came to the store anyways. Only one of those seeds has germinated that I saved so far, but I'll be taking very good care of that plant, and it will produce some food for me. And so I have some extra space back where the pumpkin is, that I was planning on having more than one plant, but if I don't, I'll probably plant cucumbers there, because those are something that I can preserve very easily with a water bath canner. I don't have a pressure canner. I have a friend who has a pressure canner, but I don't really want to plan to rely on going and seeing her to use it. So I'm going to try and do as many things water bath canning as possible. And that's the other thing is, even before all of this started, I was starting to get very into preserving food and canning stuff, and it suddenly feels like a very relevant skill that I don't have it yet. I have the book. I have the Ball Book of Canning, and that's what I'll be trying this year, and hopefully that'll add a lot to my food security. I know some people are saying that even if it feels okay right now, 2 or 3 months down the line, the supply chain shock will start to really hit. Because plants take time to grow, right? Anything that is on the shelves right now was started in the fields, 2 or 3 months ago, more depending on what it is. And so with people buying it all up, eventually there's not going to be enough that was started on time to get it to the store. And people are saying that'll happen in like this 2 or 3 months range. So at that point I should be starting to have harvests from a lot of what I've got in the ground. So that feels good. But to be completely honest with you, I am not yet actually worried about anything. We'll see how that changes. That could change. But like as of right now, I have this really strange sense of calm about it all. And just because I'm calm about it all doesn't mean necessarily that everybody should not worry. Of course, you should, be vigilant and pay attention to what's going on and take care of yourself. Um, but panicking, I don't think panicking does anybody any good. Like there's healthy worry and preparation, and panic is just way over here in terms of being very, very unhelpful. It's not going to help you think any clearer. It's not going to help you get any more done. Panic is just going to be a plague to you. So be smart, but I don't recommend panicking about this at all. So that's what I've got to say about coronavirus and how it's affecting my life right now, which is not much, as I've said. I hope you all stay well, stay healthy, stay safe, and I will return to my regularly scheduled programming in the next video. We'll probably be talking about transplanting all of those tomatoes and peppers pretty soon, so I hope to see you then. Until next time, happy gardening.